They'll be in here. It's just the amount. I don't know if they've got the other. I did. They're supposed for specific roads. I'll ask her. Okay. I'll just have Susan do it. Okay. All right. Call this Barren County Fiscal Court meeting to order. July 7th, 2026, 9 a.m. Please call roll.
Jeff Fox.
Here.
Eric Pettigo.
Here.
Tim Durham.
Here.
Tim Coomer.
Here.
Marty Kinsler.
Here.
Ronnie Stinson.
Here.
Brad Gross.
Here.
Judge Bird.
Here. We have no adoption of orders of the day, but welcome everyone for coming today. Thankful for one that's watching online as well. We do have some announcements, of course. We have our town halls that will happen July the 14th at Temple Hill Elementary, as well as July 21st at Austin Tracy Elementary. Those will be from 5 to 7 p.m. So for individuals that are not able to get there at 5, you'll still be able to speak. Even if you get there at 5:30 or at 6 o'clock, you have to sign in. You'll also need to understand that each person will have 2 minutes to speak. Those cannot be shared amongst other people, but you'll get a full 2 minutes to speak and tell us your concerns regarding the discussions we focused on zoning in Barren County. That's what this primarily is focused on. Now, there's all different types of uses that people could be concerned about, but zoning would cover everything in Barren County. So please make sure that you come if you are interested in expressing either support of wanting it or not wanting it. It's completely up to you all. That's what this is about. It's a town hall. But you are, like I said, 5 to 7. I know there's been some concerns about starting at 5, but if you get there at 6 o'clock, you'll still be able to speak. We'll be there from 5 to 7 p.m. Magistrates, please make sure you've got that on your schedules to come as well. And I'll be there along with Kevin Knight from our Planning and Zoning Department, as well as Mr. Richardson. And is that covered? Okay.
Judge, I do have one question.
Yes.
I had a few to reach out to me about other meetings and other locations.
Yes, yes, and we are going to have the others. These are the first 2. This is the way it worked out with the schools. They're getting work done to their gyms and floors and stuff like that. So it worked out best to do these 2 this month, and the other 2 will follow in August, and we'll try to get them done in August. But if not, we'll have one in August, one in September.
Okay, thank you.
So that's where that will be. Yep. Yep. Any other questions? That's it. All right. Need to approve the minutes of June 26, 2026. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Pettigo. Second by Coomer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the transfer of funds. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Durham.
Second.
Second by Botts. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the personnel actions as presented. I need a motion and a second.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Kinslow. Second by Stinson. Okay. Do it. I just want to make sure, yeah. It's only... Okay. Got you, because I just saw that. Okay. So it's only for the jail employees, 2 new employees at the jail. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the Ag Expo Construction Manager. I need a motion and a second before we can discuss.
Motion. Second.
Hold on one second before we do. Motion and second. They need to say, is that listed in there? Who? I think it needs to be in the motion. It needs to be saying who. Right.
Blank motion.
You see what I'm saying? Just making sure, yeah, it's not on the agenda, so I just need to make sure in the motion it said who we're approving. So we're gonna not take that motion in second there. You need to say, and we need to approve the agriculture expedition construction manager as Codell Construction. Okay, so I need a motion. You see what I'm saying? 'Cause I just wanna make sure that that's done that way. Okay. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Pettigo,
Second.
second by Coomer. Discussion on this. We had 5 applicants turn in for the construction manager for the Ag Expo Center. Every one of these people were top quality. We're very blessed in Marion County that these people showed interest in this project. We did interviews with each person and each group, and it came down to fees, and we were able to determine which one was the lowest fee for the construction manager, and that was Codell Construction. So they will be the construction manager for the Ag Expo Center. What this means is they'll just help basically facilitate this project, going through starting from now until the end of construction. And but the plan for this project is, for everything to start next year. This doesn't mean that construction is going to start right now. So everybody understand that? So construction does not start right now. This just means that they're going to be in the process of design, and they're going to be in the process of, going after the new market tax credits and those things right now. So, all right, we'll do a roll call vote.
Jeff Bott,
Yes.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinsler,
Yes.
Bonnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Okay. I will say that that committee was with Mr. Coomer, Mr. Botts, Gary Somerville helped with that, and like I said, we spent a lot of time discussion and in those interviews. It's an exciting project. So, next, need to approve the resolution and memorandum of agreement with KYTC for various roads for $775,000. Need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer.
Second.
Second by Pettigo. Okay, so I explain this because I've already got messages this morning. Everybody wants this money. These are for specific projects, okay? So these roads are, make sure I've got them all down. It will be Old Mumfordville Road, Beckton Rocky Hill Road, what's next? Hollow Road, and that's it, okay? They're long stretches of these roads also. They're not small sections. That's why the amount is what it is. This is the funds that we were given from Senator Givens and Representative Riley. It's voted on. It's an appropriation that we have to spend those funds on these projects. So just make sure you understand that these road projects are already committed with these funds, okay?
Lark funds, correct?
Correct, LARP, right, for resurfacing pavement, yes. So that's all we can do with those funds is basically pave those roads. Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Big thank you to Senator Givens and Mr. Riley for making sure Barren County got that amount. That's, I think, one of the second highest amounts in the county-wise, money-wise, that went out to the counties. I will say this, I talked to Senator Givens this morning and just kind of bringing him up to date on some of these things, and he's excited to see these projects happen. Need to approve the agreement with Lines Mechanical Services for the Development Center. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Botts.
Second.
Second by Durham. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Need to approve the agreement with Lines Mechanical Services for the government building. That is, when I say, the government, well, that's this building. So everybody understands which building we're talking about. This building. Okay, I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer. Second by Stinson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the agreement with Lines Mechanical Services for the courthouse. This is reimbursed by AOC. Need a motion and a second.
Make the motion.
Motion by Kinslow.
Second.
Second by Coomer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the resolution for the road name change from Phelps Road to Huddleston Road.
Motion.
Motion by Pettigrew,
Second.
second by Durham. Any discussion?
I just want to make sure that everybody does know everybody's been, that they've got to change their addresses. A lot of people, I know I've done that, and they have to change their driver's license, they have to change, just want to make sure people have been made aware of that, because I had some trouble after people agreed to it in my district, and after they had to do it, they didn't like it. But that's all I'm saying, I just want to make sure people have been, know that.
And for people too in the public to understand what goes through a process like this, the individuals did do all the due diligence to get this done. Mike, you can attest to any of the, or, you know, what has to be done to do a road change. Can you explain that?
So under the KRS, when it comes to a county road, which is what we're dealing with in this case, if you have a certain amount of the owners of the properties that abut the road get together and ask the judge executive to change the road name as long as they meet that legal threshold, which they did here. And what I normally do, or what I've done before, is I'll include, as I included in your packet, the petition for the road name change, but I also go through the PVA records, look at who are all the owners that abut that road, and I've even included a picture of the property lines from PVA to show that. And there's enough people here that have asked for the road name to be changed, and under the statute, the road name gets changed, but also it includes in here that there's also an order to the road department to put the new signs up, which of course they'll have to order and get that. That might take a little bit, but that'll get that process started. So.
Okay. So we have motion and second on the floor. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next, approve the order of allowance to the Board of Assessment Appeals for 2026. Motion by Gross. Second by Stinson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Another thing too I didn't note from the town halls is that we will be having a box in the county judge executive office here starting tomorrow. If you cannot attend these town halls and still want to drop off information or a letter stating your concerns or your support for zoning in Barren County, please make sure you can drop that off. We'll keep that out there for those, and we'll be reviewing those as well. And was there anything else on that?
Judge, on the
Yeah.
town hall, is that just gonna be, they sign in and they can come and speak?
Yes. Yeah, you have to
Just on
sign
the
in.
subject of zoning, right?
Correct. Focus is zoning. Yes.
But there's no agenda or anything like that?
No
They
agenda.
just have to sign in and speak?
No agenda. Yeah, it's going to sign in. We'll just do a quick welcome. That way we give enough time for every individual that wants to speak can speak. So,
I want to ask, is there consideration on the sign-in sheet, and this may not be appropriate, but could we have a box on there, yes or no, whether you're in favor of it or not, or should we just let the comments speak? I just, it might be nice if there was written record with, if they wanted to go on record with their name of whether they were for it or against it.
Well,
Even though after the end of the night, they might change their opinion.
Well, I think that's the idea behind the box, is to give, if people want to have, packets or letters or support or against or whatever their concerns are, they will just have an open box where they can just drop it off there, so they don't have to walk up to anybody, or, they don't want to do any of that stuff or be in public. They can just drop it off there at the judge executive's office, and that, that'll pretty much tell you, obviously what their thoughts are on it. So.
Okay.
yes. The other thing too to note is I have been getting people. I know that they put out that I was meeting with the park, Mammoth Cave National Park, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And they actually sadly canceled my meeting after we announced it in the court that day. They just said they could not meet with me at that point. So we're still trying to get answers and questions from them as well. So, but that meeting did not occur, not by not by my choice, but that's kind of where we're at. And I know the discussion continues about the moratorium and on data centers, but I'll let Mr. Richardson continue with that conversation too, because I know that's going to be a big topic even at these town halls. But I will explain to this on the moratorium part of it is that, you know, Barren County, again, without zoning, moratoriums are not the saving grace for everyone that has concerns. They are, especially in our situation, it wouldn't stop anything. And moratoriums also don't stop anything either way. They are just delays. They give the local governments time to develop things that will protect their communities, but it does not stop anything. So, go ahead.
Just to kind of go on that, Judge, you know, I've been asked this before, and I'm pretty sure I made it clear before, but moratoriums in counties without countywide zoning, I mean, they're just not enforceable. And I suspect that some of these counties, and yes, I'm very well aware that there have been many counties without the countywide zoning that have enacted moratoriums, and that's fine. If that's the path they want to take. But my job as county attorney is to give candid legal advice to this governing body, and I cannot possibly give legal advice that these are legal or enforceable. I mean, maybe a reporter should call one of those magistrates in one of those other counties and ask them point blank, do you think this is enforceable? You know, I want to hear their answer because they're not. That's why many of them don't even have provisions in there about penalties or anything like that, because there's no legislative or statutory backing behind it. You know, for example, if you're making an amendment to the zoning ordinance, usually there's things in there about liens that can be placed or injunctions or stuff of that nature. There's no legal authority to be able to enforce these things in areas without countywide zoning, and that's the fact. You know, my opinion's not going to change just because a few people disagree with me. I mean, really half the time I give legal advice, nobody likes it anyway, but, you know, my job is to give candid legal advice, not to just go with what everybody wants. And, you know, there's other things too going around, like these model ordinances that people are bringing before their county attorneys in other counties. And I've looked at those too, and I mean, they're zoning. They're zoning. They can call it whatever they want. It's zoning. And under the Kentucky Home Rule statute for counties, you know, they can dance. Sometimes they'll dance around it and say, well, we're doing it for environmental or for commercial business or whatever. But it all comes back to that point when you read these things. At the end of the day, they are talking about land usage. And under the Kentucky Home Rule statute, yes, counties do have the power of planning and zoning, but it must abide by KRS 100. And there's a long, you know, long process to be able to do all that. That's why we have to have this discussion about zoning, because I'm kind of hearing from some people kind of talking out both sides of their mouth, where at one point they're like, yeah, we need land usage. And then then they tell other people, well, you know, you don't need zoning. Yes, you do need zoning if you're going to do something like that. And I've already looked at all that. And if you're talking about whatever industry it is, whatever potential industry, and I got to commend the judge executive and the fiscal court. I think they've done a great job trying to bring industry and trying to bring business and have people want to come here and do business. And that's great. And the county's going to grow, and it is growing. A lot of improvements have been going on the last 4 years. There's no doubt. Well, with that, you're going to have this discussion about zoning, because you're going to have some type of controlled growth. And then the thing that I'm hearing from people is, you know, if you kind of wade through all the stuff that you hear on the internet, the bottom line is a lot of people feel like they're not getting enough information. Everybody up here hears that, but at the same time, you know, we have a mechanism that is available through zoning that gives you the ability to get that information. You know, the counties are very limited. They have very limited power in what they can do and not do. I've said that before. Like the judge executive, fiscal court don't have a magic wand where they can go and force people, or they don't have subpoena powers, nothing like that, to force these businesses to give information. through the zoning process, you do have, like, for example, if there's like a board of adjustments, and I'm sure you guys have heard this term before, permissive and conditional usage. And if you have a conditional use where you say that some industry can come in certain areas under certain conditions, you have what's called a board of adjustments. And they have subpoena powers, they have the ability to question, and if they're not satisfied by the answers, they have the ability to deny. So there is a process there that's available, but again, it's by the will of the people. So if you don't want zoning, that's fine, but this is the purpose of the town halls, is to get that information so that you're aware of how this process works. Because we can't have this issue where people are saying, you know, hey, we're gonna have this, we need to have land usage, we need to tell these businesses where they can and can't go. Okay, fine, but there's a process for that. There's a legal process that you have to look at. There's a lot of, you know, internet lawyers that are sitting there and saying things like, that's wrong, and they start, you know, saying all these different things. It's okay to advocate, but people need to, you know, be mindful that a lot of this stuff is very, very complicated legal procedure, and attorneys have to be the ones that have to give the advice on this stuff. You know, and also the purpose of the meetings is to talk about, you know, zoning in general, but also that, you know, the purpose of zoning is not to curtail property rights. The purpose of zoning, you know, is to help enhance those rights, to give people a voice when they have, you know, certain industry come in next door to them and they have concerns, or they want more answers to their questions. There's a legal process that's available to be able to, you know, if county government's not getting those answers, there's a legal procedure to get those answers if they need it. So I'll be at those town halls, you know, and I'll make myself available, you know, to any individuals that got questions about the process or zoning or anything else. So I'll be there to as many as I can be at, and I can answer anybody's questions.
Anything else? Okay, July 14th, Temple Hill Elementary at 5 to 7 p.m. July 21st is the next fiscal court meeting that morning at 9 a.m. Then we'll head to, right, that's Tuesday, right? Yeah. Sorry, lost. The next fiscal court will be July 21st that morning at 9 a.m. And that evening we'll go to Austin Tracy Elementary for a town hall from 5 to 7. And don't forget about the box here in the office if you'd like to drop anything off. Is there anything else?
Judge,
Yeah.
did we skip B?
We didn't. Yeah, you're off on my D's. My D is not that. We did D.
Okay.
Oh, B, yes, no, we did not. We didn't have right now. We're gonna do that in the next fiscal court.
Make sure.
You're good.
Judge, I would like to give a big shout out to Temple Hill Lions Club and everybody that's come together for the Barren County Fair this year and made it such a big success. We had a great night every night, but Saturday night it was one great out. So we are gonna have to reschedule that, but everybody that come out, I don't wanna call names because I'm afraid I'll miss somebody, but everybody in the county pulled together and it was a great success.
I'm glad you said that. Yes, the fair was phenomenal. My kids live for the Barren County Fair every year. They love it. And it was so good to see all those people. We had some really good weather nights aside from Saturday. You know, it wasn't too hot. It was actually very pleasant out there. Another thing, too, to thank is also on all the 4th of July and 3rd of July events is all the volunteers, all the county employees that made those things happen. I saw even on the 4th of July night, you know, we had sheriff's office out there in the rain directing traffic. Marcus Thurman does everything that, you know, the county helps out all these people and all these preparations. Just thank you to everybody that made those happen because, like I said, those are huge tourism and draws for our community and also for just our local individuals to be able to take part. So, great job, everybody. So, anything else? Oh, I will say this too. They announced it yesterday. Barren County, Cave City is getting a bourbon trail stop on now that they just opened the distillery there. Between that and then the 2 tasting rooms, there's a bourbon trail stop in Cave City. They're going to start marketing that for tourism. So that was they were excited about that announcement. So, anything else? Nothing. All right. Any motion to adjourn? Motion by Pittigo. Second by Coomer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. Being adjourned. Thank you all.